If you're looking for the experience of a delicious cocktail, but without the effects of alcohol, try Kensho Cocktails by Reserve. These ready-to-drink beverages are made with premium botanicals and natural citruses and spices, giving them the flavor and finish of high-end mixology. Garnish with limes, cherries, or raspberries to complete a bold and sophisticated cocktail, all without the accompanying hangover. Go to rsrvcollective.com and use promo code Cinemavino, and you'll receive 30% off everything on that purchase. It's the biggest discount you can get, and it's exclusive to our promo code. Once again, that's rsrvcollective.com, promo code Cinemavino. And welcome back to Cinemavino. It's good to have you guys here with us. We got Travis Budd.
Hey.
Sean Jordan.
Hi.
Taylor Owens.
Yo.
T.O. And my name's Todd.
Holy shit, T.O. is here?
Yeah.
The real T.O.
Exactly. Get your popcorn. So, we're continuing our Dark Knight trilogy with the second installment in Christopher Nolan's movie series with The Dark Knight. And so, yeah, we're going to drink another beer. Again, it's hot here. I want to get some beers because they're easy to drink, and they just sound good right now.
Rolls right off the nose.
Somehow you found a 6.2 Kolsch.
And for me, that is a low alcohol beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that is a significant downshift, 6.2.
A Kolsch?
Going down to like 4.5 or 5 is basically water. So this is a low alcohol beverage for me. It is a blackberry Kolsch.
It's a blackberry honey Kolsch.
Yeah.
To you, it's actually hashtag Blackberry HK.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it drinks well. I'm not a big blackberry fan per se. So yeah, this is a good beer.
Yeah.
It drinks really well.
It actually, it's like it's got a hit, but of course, coming from our previous beer.
A subtle blackberry honey.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Previous beer was real.
I do enjoy
Punches
blackberries.
you in the mouth.
Yeah. So this is something a little bit different. So I thought, a nice little kind of shift on the palate.
Kolsch, of course, from
Trav, can you text
Cologne
them and tell them that we're drinking the beer right
Germany.
now?
Yeah.
Because they're on the Pacific Northwest time, so you can text them and see what.
There we
Do they
go.
have a phone number on here?
Yeah, give them a text and just let them know you're drinking it, and
Text us 541-819-0449.
shoot them a text.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rogue is a great brewery. I've always enjoyed their stuff. They do some good Kolsches. So I was intrigued by this one. It's something I've never had before. So it's just something new.
It's a good can.
Yeah.
It is a good looking can.
And yeah, you get a tall boy for your trouble. So if you guys are looking for something,
Todd has good looking cans.
Yeah, exactly. As I keep hearing. And so yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a good, everyday beer, it's good stuff.
And I am.
So, The Dark Knight was released July 18th, 2018, 17 years ago.
Whoa.
Wait.
2008.
2008, sorry.
I was going to say, man,
What?
did I black out?
Like 2018.
Did I just lose 10 years?
2018. I'm looking at 18, so it's like July 18th, 2008.
Gotcha.
I knew my college years were a blur, but
So this grossed just over $1 billion against a $185 million budget.
How much?
$185 million.
That was probably pretty big for then, wasn't
It
it?
was, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a big budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it grossed to...
That would cripple a shoemaker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not quite 3 times the gross of Batman Begins. So
Damn.
most of the principal cast comes back, although Katie Holmes has been replaced by Maggie Gyllenhaal in the role
Gyllenhaal.
of Rachel Dawes.
Bingo boingo.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan returns to direct. This time he's co-writing with his brother Jonathan. Nolan was heavily influenced by the film Heat, which came out in 1995.
Honestly, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had his cast and crew screen the film before they made it so that they could help kind of bring that aesthetic into this one.
That's cool.
You see a
That's
lot
a
of...
great movie to screen.
It is.
Featuring another Batman.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of... You could see it like it begins with a heist, which that heist features the bank manager is played by an actor, William Fichtner, who is in Heat as the drug launderer. And so, yeah, so as a result of his influence by that movie, this movie has an even more realistic and stripped down feel than Batman Begins. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of the more fantastical elements out of Batman Begins, of like the flower that releases fear toxins and the more like kind of fantastical look of Gotham City, which is like, it looks like no city on earth. Now it's like, this is Chicago. They film in Chicago, they make no mistake that like, oh, there's a Whacker Drive or whatever. Like this is definitely filmed in Chicago. And then also, again, specifically on location in Hong Kong. So with very clear idea that this is Hong Kong.
Just a small tie-in to just rope in the Eastern markets.
There you go.
That's fine.
The film takes place 1 year after Batman Begins, with the Joker, who's
Todd, when's this episode coming out?
next week.
Cool.
So yeah. So it's played by Heath Ledger in a posthumous Oscar-winning performance. He's terrorizing Gotham. At the same time, a new district attorney, Harvey Dent, vows to clean up the city with an emphasis on the powerful mafia underworld. Both conflicts threaten to escalate beyond Batman's control. That's what I have for plot. So again, I'm going to go back to the question we asked the previous time. And Tay, we'll start with you this time.
Yes.
What were your expectations? What did this movie do to your expectations, and how does it hold up?
Had no expectations because I had seen the first one, and I think I said before it was okay. I was like, all right, that's great.
Yeah.
So I think when I was like, hey, the new one's coming out, and honestly, again, I do a lot of drinking. I kind of forget any advertisements. Like, I don't remember seeing a bunch of stuff for it, but I just remember being like, Travis, like, hey, we're gonna go see this in theaters, and I was like, oh yeah, the new Batman. I remember being enthused about it, but not knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
And then I remember just being in theaters and being like, oh, this fucking was, I'm gonna say it right now, the movie's a fucking 10 to me. Yeah. And I was like, oh,
agreed.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what is this? And I was like, it blew. So I had no expectations. And then I was like, it exceeded whatever expectations every Batman movie now has going forward.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So it's like that is the movie you're compared to now.
It's a tough act to follow.
Exactly. And so it's like, that's why, third one later, but it was like, I was so impressed. It's like, actually, I'd give it a 9.99 repeated, because I do remember in theaters thinking,
Oh, Christ.
the only thought I thought was, is it too long?
Yeah.
It was like,
This movie's not too long.
it's
now.
not. And
anymore.
after rewatching it, I didn't think it was, but I remember.
Movie's what? 2 hours, 14 minutes?
Longer than that.
It's this one's longer.
Yeah.
The
2 hours and 32 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 2.7 was the previous one, but it was.
Sub 3 is still pretty good.
Oh yeah, but I do remember thinking like,
They went in all kitchen sink on plots.
and I was like, hold on, man. I was like, so the trains, he's in here. I was like, how are you going to end this fucking film? That's the only negative thing I thought was like, hold on, man, dude, you got people, barrels.
2 hours, 32.
Yeah, I was like, people's barrels, fire, dude. You got to wrap this bitch up. And that was the only thing I thought of. Like, but now even going back and watching it, didn't even cross my mind. Like time wasn't even an issue. But I do just specifically remember being like, man, you got to bow tie this, man. Like
These days, if a movie is sub 3, I am happy.
yeah. But I for some reason I just remember it being longer, but I still fucking loved it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this exceeded all expectations. Obviously, I think I kind of liked the darker side of it, and how it kind of, it started in that whole darker realm.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie just started that way. And Travis kind of alluded to, it's like, I kind of liked that soundtrack. I kind of liked everything. Just for the whole time. And
that was great.
And even rewatching it.
Foreboding, foreshadowing.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is absolutely amazing. And and it's weird when you rewatch something when you're like, man, this just crossed my mind. It's like, was Heath Ledger like, was he over, and this is gonna sound bad, was he overacting? Because he put on an Oscar-worthy performance, but when you watch it again, you're like, man, I was like, is this too much? But when you got to think about it, in the time when he did it, it was like, it wasn't. But now you hear all the stories, you read everything, and it's just like, it just crossed my mind. It's like, what were they thinking on set? And then you hear about that stuff where like Michael Caine was like legitimately frightened because it was the first time he saw him in that makeup and everything. I'm like, well, that's kind of badass.
Yeah.
Clearly he wasn't, but when you see it, you're just like, you kind of get that Jim Carrey feel. At least I did. Like, it's like, was he overacting in this?
I don't know if you can have the role of Joker and overacting at the same time, but then I saw Jared Leto.
Okay,
He proves you
in
wrong.
his defense, Jared Leto had to follow up Heath Ledger.
Exactly.
Heath
How do you
Ledger's
do
Joker?
yeah.
Like, how do you follow that up?
Yeah. But just
Someone has to be the next guy.
But the voice, I did pick up on it. It's like
Tom Waits.
It got a lot deeper, and it was a clear.
Oh, the Joker or
Batman?
Batman. Okay,
Yeah, Batman got a lot deeper, a lot grumbly, and I was like, okay.
In
And
the third movie, doesn't he add something that like intentionally disrupts his voice?
Ben Affleck does that with the.
Oh, okay, dumb.
Yeah.
Woof.
We'll get
They're different people.
Are they?
But nevertheless, this is a 10. I had little to no expectations going into it, and I was just blown away. And even rewatching it, and I hate to say it, out of all the three, this one is the one I could rewatch every fucking time.
Yeah.
And it was and I'm not to disrespect the other ones, but this one, just from action, acting, plot, as long as it is, it was I would watch this. I mean, again, honestly, kind of like Two Towers. It was
Didn't you say that?
It was I would watch this every single time.
Yeah.
It was this is the one in the trilogy where I was put that bitch on. I'll watch that.
So you weren't here for the Lord of the Rings thing, but I think we all talked about how the Two Towers was the second one was the best movie of the three, and we also mentioned in this trilogy, Dark Knight is the best one of the three.
Yeah, and
it's interesting when it's the sequel. It's the one in the middle that's the best.
Empire Strikes Back.
Exactly. And so so this is golly a fucking 10. I mean, that's all. I mean, again,
10.
10 year or 20 or 18 years ago, 17 years ago, I would have said 9.9 repeated because at the time I did think it was too long. That would be my only negative thing. It was when I first saw it, I was like, you got to wrap this bitch up, dude. We got to end this.
It's a thick movie.
Yeah, but again, it is
thick with 2 C's.
It's girthy.
It might have 3 C's. It was but again, and again, not acting this whatever. This just the cinematography, the filming of it, a lot darker. It was I don't know why, but this one just stands out.
The color palette was brighter.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a darker film.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
You could actually see.
But when it goes into the cinematography of everything involving around it, it was it just kind of that just the certain shots.
I was cityscape pans where they go
and
taller. What's up? Mm-hmm.
They take him out of the Batcave and they put him in the that weird container
ratio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that weird Jamiroquai music video.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Virtual insanity.
Yeah, it literally brightens it up. It just
takes
them out of that environment and they get to do a lot of interacting in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is lovely.
But yeah, so nevertheless, 10 all the way around. One of, honestly, besides 89 Batman, probably, God, man, I would say it goes up there. It's tied number 1.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Batman films. Yeah.
Sean?
I'd say it's the best. I'd say this is the best Batman film. It's so hard to see this movie outside of the context of Heath Ledger because that became such a big thing outside of the movie itself. Because obviously Heath Ledger died. This was the second to last movie he ever did, but it was the last movie he filmed, but not the last movie that came out with him in it, because Dr. Parnassus came out after this, but it wasn't the last one he filmed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the specter of Heath Ledger hangs over this movie because it became so much bigger because of his whole thing.
It gives it a mythos.
Yeah, it gave it a mythos, and at the time, I mean, that was everyone wanted to go see. What was the movie? What was the performance that drove Heath Ledger crazy that killed him?
Yeah.
That's how I remember people's reaction to this movie.
100%. Yeah.
Was people were okay, this guy just method acted his Joker so hard he killed himself.
Yeah, and people, I mean, it's funny because people bashed him going into it. Now it's how much did he dive into this role that he died because of
it? And I remember during the Academy Awards, it was I remember watching them. Nowadays, I really don't give a shit that much, but I remember watching it live and being thinking to myself, people are going to think that he got this just because he died. And I was no, he fucking killed it. And it was but I remember just thinking that I think people are going to say that because he died mainly because of this film, he's going to get an Academy Award for it. I'm no, he fucking
But also it's because the Academy always takes, fantasy, sci-fi, and hero, superhero shit. They never give it the accolades. They waited until all the Lord of the Rings were done, and they were all right, we're going to give you your flowers.
Yeah.
I mean, Heath Ledger, the performance cannot be said enough how great this performance was.
It is Oscar worthy.
I kind of have the opposite reaction. There was a long time that I couldn't watch this movie multiple times because it kind of became like so much bigger than itself. The amount of like shitty Joker tattoos and like cringe Joker shit that came out of this movie.
Yeah,
Joker jabronis.
The Joker jabronis became such a thing.
People were doing the Halloween costume like years later.
Only Halloween
years
costume
later.
for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like the Joker cringe bullshit was so bad. Like the amount of NFL players with Joker tattoos on them. There's a really good Ringer article talking about why so many NFL football players adopt the Joker persona. Like it's a whole thing. And Nikola Jokic,
Yeah.
you know, he's called the Joker too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a whole thing because this movie kind of grew bigger than itself, and I think for that reason, I really kind of distanced myself from it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to watch it. It's like the cheesy Joker, like everyone's doing the Joker thing. I'm not gonna. No, this movie's so goddamn good. I'm mad at myself for having like not gone back and rewatching it more frequently, because going back now, this is such a good movie. It's dense. There's so much plot, but at the bottom layer of this movie, it's a good heist movie.
Yeah.
It's the Joker constantly outsmarting Batman, coming out of nowhere, just like completely undercutting everything the Batman's trying to do, and he's zigging where everybody else is zagging.
Yeah.
And it's great. I mean, it's a great movie because it's a thriller outside of just being a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And the fact that you get both, it's an incredible film. I mean, you get just multiple storylines. You get, the Two-Face origin story. You get like Batman. You still get a little bit of like the mafioso. You get a little bit of the you get Scarecrow in there again.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much, and in 2.5 hours they cram it all in there. You get Hong Kong. You get the whole Hong Kong like money laundering thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see Batman go outside of Gotham, which I think is cool. You get to see Skyhook. You get to see him play with a lot of new toys without it being too James Bondy. Without him doing
Skyhook sounds like a James Bond film.
100%.
it does,
Yeah.
But you don't see him going full on like showing off Batman toys. Like he doesn't do a lot of like Batman gadgets.
But he does a lot of detective work in this film.
He does a lot of detective work, which I think is the best version of Batman in my
He had
opinion.
little pump sticky bombs. Again, great sound design.
And at the end of this movie, you get like I don't think it necessarily reads the same way as it did then, but this was very much like a treatise on the Patriot Act, because there's the whole thing with like surveillance and privacy, surveillance on U.S. citizens. That was peak topic. That was like in the zeitgeist in 2008. That's what this was about.
Yeah. It still has relevance today.
Well, no, we've given up on privacy these days.
Oh, yeah, just
we
take
just
it.
know. I have a fucking machine in my kitchen that listens to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, well, if it gets me better deals on Amazon,
But they finally gave Batman the little white eyes when he was like doing his listening in.
His
from
like
the comic
sonar
books,
thing.
like
Yes.
they gave him the white comic book eyes.
I mean,
because normally they just give him the guy liner.
yeah. But like you get a lot of really good elements of all the best Batman elements are kind of distilled into this movie. You get a really good villain, which they, I think, wanted to bring back Joker in future movies, but obviously they couldn't because Heath Ledger died, and that completely threw off the trajectory of the trilogy.
Yeah.
But I think what came out of it is one of the best Batman movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
So this is
10.
10.
Hard 10. I'd give it an 11 if I could.
Yeah, this is a hard 10 for me as well. When they announced Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, I was like, what the fuck?
Everyone was
the guy
skeptical
from
of it.
10 Things I Hate About You and The Patriot.
And I still don't remember that. And I was like,
I
again,
remember
alcohol in my brain, but I was like, I don't remember that at all.
I remember I was like, what in the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
And I have discovered this about myself. I have never been more happy than when I am proven wrong. When I think something, I'm like, that's going to be fucking stupid. And then I see Heath Ledger's performance and I was like, well, I guess I'll just shut the fuck up forever now. Because I need to see it before I can actually make an actual judgment. I will just, I'll fuck off and I'll fuck off and die, because I was dead fucking wrong about that. He was such a great Joker. Like, he wasn't a regular, comic book Joker, but for this Nolan verse, he was absolutely perfect.
Had we seen a Joker since Nicholson prior to this?
No.
Other than Mark Hamill, which is...
Oh, right, yeah. Batman the Animated Series, he is a great Joker.
This from right out of the gate, when they start with the violin and then the kind of the one discordant long
tension,
note, and they show him holding the mask behind him, and you're coming up and you're seeing Joker from behind, and then all of a sudden the car pulls up, puts the mask on, hops in, and you're into a fucking heist movie.
Yeah.
And they do it so well. Like, that's...
But no, I'm supposed to shoot the bus driver. The bus driver.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wham.
But they do it so well. Like, I'm glad I have subtitles on home video now, and I can... Because some of the stuff I couldn't quite hear that he was saying, like, in the theaters. It was so... Wasn't there another Christopher Nolan film? Was it... Tenet, where people were like, what the fuck are people saying?
Can't hear shit in this
movie. And Bane in the third one, they were like,
They had to redub him later for that reason.
But those were my only qualms with this movie. But the whole heist with all the other, the clowns, and then the reveal that, like, everything makes you stranger. And you get to see him, like, ride out with a bus and get the fuck away with all the money. I was like, that's how you do it. That's how you do a villain reveal. And like the first 10 minutes of a film. Like, I know there's a villain called Shocker, a Spider-Man villain, and everybody likes him because he's like a blue collar villain. Like, he's not trying to take over the world. Like, he's
dumb. He's just trying to rob banks.
He just wants 40,000 in his pocket, and he'll fuck off. Like, he'll run away. Like, you just need a little 10-minute thing to introduce Spider-Man, show him taking down Shocker, boom, and then you're into the film. But they did it perfectly in Dark Knight. Also, like you said, it was a darker film, but they actually gave you light. They gave you color. You could see what was happening most of the time. Joker was fucking smart, and it kind of started off the trope of the villain getting caught is part of his plan. Mm-hmm. Like, they did that with Loki and the Avengers. They did that with, what's his name in James Bond?
Blofeld?
No, God, the guy, No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem?
Yeah. And that getting caught was part of their plan. They're like, okay, normally that's at the end of the movie. But if the villain is like, no, my thing is I need to be here.
Yeah, if you get caught in the second act, it's part of it.
It's great.
That chase scene, the whole chase scene under the tunnels.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. All filmed with practical effects.
And no music.
The whole bus flipping. That was a whole thing that they actually did.
And then the tumbler turning into the
motorcycle. Hell yeah.
Fuck yes.
Hell yeah.
Hated to see it go, but it was so awesome. And then, the Joker was so smart. He actually had like plots within plots within plots. It showed how much he was going all over the place, and it scared the shit out of me where they dropped the guys that were pretending to be Batman, the corpse right in front of the mayor.
Yeah.
I was like, I jumped in there. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
This is not cool. And of course they do the old reliable from Joker, where he gets somebody to drink, something like acid or poison is all like the Joker's forte. So he kills the one.
Also, laughing gas.
Yes.
Yeah.
He kills the commissioner, which makes Gordon the new commissioner after that. And then, didn't they? Wait.
Yeah.
They had to pretend, that Gordon died. That was their whole.
And he was
so much going on in this movie.
And
then, so much going on.
And that might have been like, was it long at the time? But that might have been my qualm thinking it was too long, was just like, dude, I'm following 40 fucking things right now. Like, get your shit together. That might have been my mindset.
There's a
like,
lot going on.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not saying it was too long, but maybe I was just like, dude, I'm following 20 things. You're
You're Pepe Silva.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm trying to connect every dot here, and you're throwing me off.
And Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face was also perfect because in the comic books, Harvey Dent is the only other person that's like, like well built, and they're like, this guy could actually be Batman. And they hold the card up to his face. We're like, okay, you could be Batman. It could be you.
Yeah.
So I like that little wink and a nod to the comics. But one of my favorite things is people thinking about Heath Ledger's origin of his Joker. They keep thinking, like, how did he get these scars? Because he's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
He, at least 2, maybe 3 different times, is like, you want to know how I got these scars? And he gives everybody a different fucking story.
Yeah.
Some people think he's, like, former military because he's, like, knows tactics, or he's just, all about the guerrilla warfare. My favorite one, though, that actually made me go and read the book was that Tyler Durden in Fight Club was the origin story for Joker. And it was all about, like, in Fight Club, in the book, the Tyler Durden has Project Mayhem.
You're telling me
which
this
is a whole bunch
IKEA's
of
fault?
Joker's guys to go run around and do all this crazy shit, like start slow chaos and then get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it makes total sense with Joker. But in the book, he fights so much that he has like a cheek that he's accidentally bit through. And then at the end, when he shoots himself, it makes almost a perfect, like, stitched grin at the end. And so somebody was like, oh my God, it's Tyler Durden. It's like the next step in his evolution. He just went batshit crazy. And I read the book and I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is my favorite origin story. So this one's a 10. It's, along with Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's my favorite movie to get drunk to.
There you go.
Before going out to
3 beer shower.
Yeah. If you think this is good, drink 3 beers and then continue watching.
Yeah.
So I will give this a 9. I'll give this a 9.
Boo.
And here are my thoughts. And again, this is on a rewatch. I think walking out, and I get that. That's like I know a lot of people. I heard Quentin Tarantino one time give a speech about how he thought Batman Begins was the better movie. And
and you're just gonna agree with Quentin Tarantino?
And he said flat out, like, I know a lot of people don't agree with that, and I feel that of like,
boo him too.
It's like rewatching it. It's like I mean I'll give this a 9 again, which is high praise. It's like I don't give a lot of movies that high of a score.
Thank you, Todd.
I know it needs my 9 out of 10. So my thoughts are that, and what I've kind of always felt this way, that it kind of shortchanges the Harvey Dent story arc. It kind of crams it into the third act of the movie when that could be an entire movie unto itself, or like a lot more of a movie.
I agree. I wanted Two-Face to show up in the next one.
Yeah.
It's like you could get a lot. It's like that's a pretty dramatic fall from grace when they build him up so long as this white knight, ethical savior, spiritual savior of Gotham, to have him very quickly fall in the span of the final act of the movie. It's like, to me, that's like the second half of a movie, of a movie this size. That's 60, 70 minutes of him gradually slipping. At the end of it, he completely falls and is lost. So it feels very fast to me. That felt like they kind of shortchanged Two-Face, especially having Aaron Eckhart play him. It's like, this deserves more meat in the story than what they give it.
To have such a good actor and not use him to the potential of being a full-fledged Two-Face.
Especially when he kind of he does get overshadowed by the Joker, as any other villain that you put in this movie would.
Yes.
Right.
He deserves his moment to shine. Maybe start him on that path in this movie, and like you say, pay it off in a third movie where Two-Face is one of your primary villains. And then it's like you can really grapple with the idea if this was somebody who believed in law and order and fairness and doing the right thing who becomes lost. Because to me, it's like that's kind of the tragedy of, like a Michael Corleone from The Godfather, or like Walter White in Breaking Bad, of like, potentially decent people who just become lost and destroyed. That to me could be Two-Face. He could be like somebody who believed in something, who was then annihilated by the Joker and like lost spiritually and emotionally, and he becomes a villain. Like he says in this movie, to me, it's like they kind of set that up. If you live long enough to become the villain, but they don't really completely pay it off. It feels very rushed to me, and in that way, this movie to me is too long, but also too short at the same time. It's a weird paradox. It's like I wanted it to kind of wrap up a little quicker if it's going to be just about the Joker.
Well, it's almost like it's two movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it were two separate movies, it could do justice to all the storyline.
And it's like, and at the same time, it's like it feels like it's too short because I wanted more Two-Face. I wanted his fall to mean more than what it does in the movie.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
That to me has always been kind of, again, it's a great. There's iconic scenes in it. The action's are great. The performances are great. I mean, that's easy. That's a hard point to argue that Heath Ledger's great. Christian Bale is, I think, great as like again Bruce Wayne, showing his like frustration and how he eventually becomes a tragic figure on his own.
You get like an all-timer Michael Caine monologue.
Yeah.
Talking about some men just want to watch the world.
That's a great speech.
Great monologue.
And you get a great, it's a great Michael Caine of like, the size of a tangerine.
Yeah.
It's a great Michael Caine speech.
Also, Maggie Gyllenhaal, we didn't talk about her as much in this, but
what happens to her?
Whoops, boom.
Vast improvement over Katie Holmes. It's like there was we need like an actual actress with some chops to come in and play this. Because again, this movie is that much darker, that much more emotional. Can't have Dawson's Creek in the middle of this.
It does kind of suck that they're like, all right, we're going to recast you and bring it in. And
we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
That's the women in refrigerators. We've got to motivate our heroes. So I'm sorry, you got to explode.
And yet we have to explain Bruce Wayne's fall into darkness. Yeah.
Jeez.
But so, and that's kind of my own
flowers.
My only beef with this movie, and it's
American Fiction flowers.
But it is a valid.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, honestly,
it's wrong, but it's valid.
I was like, I can understand why you give it a 9.
Yeah.
Because of that. And again, I will say, like, Two-Face doesn't. I mean, I do like I like his little arc, but you're right. It's like it just kind of like
yada yada
yada yada yada.
This is like quick.
Yeah.
I was very upset when I was like, they were like, "Oh yeah, he's dead." I was like, "Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's coming back.
He's gonna be an Arkham."
And then they were ending it. And I was like, "Wait,
exactly." Yeah, I was like, wait. Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. Again, it just feels like, I know I killed those people. It felt very quick of like, again, it's like they're going to reveal, no, he's in Arkham. He's not dead. He's going to escape or whatever. And then, because it's like, I don't know, it's like, it feels such a cool setup of him and his coin, going around killing people. It's like, this is what I wanted, rather than the cartoonish, over the top Tommy Lee Jones. Like, this is the.
They did such a good job of creating a Two-Face.
Yeah.
Like they gave him like a tragic backstory. They gave him a reason to have the coin. They gave him a reason to have like that like 50-50 mentality.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of go on.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have like a caper where he has like a giant penny, and then Batman takes it.
You got to have a giant penny.
And then goes, you know what? I want to take that giant penny and put it in the Batcave.
Because
there's always a Tyrannosaur and a giant penny in the Batcave.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
In Batman the Animated Series, his Batcave always has like a rogues gallery of like all the
stuff.
shit he steals from his.
Like Two-Face for some reason had a giant penny and was gonna have it fall on somebody, and somehow actually, yeah, that's weird.
It's always
I was thinking like in
Batman always takes trophies.
He does. He's a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I thought I was like, what did I miss? I was like, what are you talking about?
I think he's got like a large animatronic like T-Rex and a giant penny. Like those are two things he has in the Batcave that are like among the trophies.
Those are staples.
Giant mechanical spiders.
In the third act.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
So you guys are 10s.
10.
Yeah. I hate to differ. It's like,
but I understand what you're saying though. It's like when you think about it, like, all right, that's valid.
Yeah.
I was like, as Sean said, like you're wrong, but I can understand where you're coming from.
I see your point. But
exactly.
I completely respect giving this movie a 10. I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's like I debated it watching it again. It's like, this is great. It really is. But it's like I can't quite bring myself to a 10. So not quite there. But
so you think for this one, this trilogy goes 1, 2, 3?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
But not much of a drop off.
Yeah, it's tight. It's a tight.
So I mean,
it's no Indiana Jones.
No, we can talk about it. I enjoy Dark Knight Rises as well. So I haven't rewatched it, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
So it's been another episode of Cinemavino. We thank you guys so much. We got Taylor.
Yo.
We got Sean.
Hey.
We got Travi.
Don't bother me.
My name is Todd Wofford. And we'll see you guys next time. Great movies, only drunker. We're going to do Dark Knight Rises. So come back and join us for that one. So see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.